Hello students, today we are going to see about the how to distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. So the first method is by Lucas test. Lucas test is carried out by Lucas reagent, and Lucas reagent is what? It is HCl plus anhydrous ZnCl2 is termed as Lucas reagent. As we have already studied this part in detail in the earlier lecture, but let's see. Now, what happens whenever an alcohol is treated? Whenever an alcohol is treated with Lucas reagent, it always forms an alkyl halide, and the alkyl halides being insoluble, they gives turbidity to the solution, and this turbidity indicates the formation of the alkyl halide. Now let's see here the tertiary alcohols are more reactive towards Lucas reagent as compared to secondary, and primary are least. So when a tertiary alcohol is treated with Lucas reagent, it gives tertiary alkyl halide, and this alkyl halide is formed immediately. Whereas when a secondary alcohol is treated with Lucas reagent, it gives secondary alkyl halide and it requires 5 minutes. The turbidity will appear after 5 minutes. It shows that the compound is secondary alcohol. And when primary alcohol is treated with Lucas reagent, it do not give any alkyl halide. It will not form alkyl halide. It will not give turbidity unless and until you are not going to heat the reaction beaker, so that it gives primary alkyl halide. So in this way we can distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. Now the second test is Victor-Mayer test. This test involves certain steps to carry out the reaction. That is, first is the treatment with red phosphorus and iodine so that an alkyl iodide is formed. When an alcohol is treated with P plus I2, that is red phosphorus and iodine, it gives an alkyl iodide, that is alkyl iodide will be formed. And then it is treated with AgNO2 so that it gives RNO2, and later on it is treated with HNO2, and HNO2 is what? It is a combination of NaOH and H2SO4, nitrous acid. So it gives RNO2 and then it is treated with HNO2, and HNO2 is what? It is freshly prepared by using NaNO2 with dilute sulfuric acid. This is nitrous acid. So it gives what? It gives such type of nitrolic acid, and it has a color, particular color. So when a primary alcohol is treated with the complete set of the Victor-Meyer's reagent, it gives what? It gives red color. And the secondary alcohol on treatment with the Victor-Meyer's reagent, it gives blue color. And the tertiary alcohol, they do not react with this last part, and so the reaction is colorless. So how to distinguish by using Victor-Meyer test? That is, the primary alcohol gives red color, secondary gives blue color, and tertiary gives colorless. It's very easy to remember. That is RBC. RBC, you know that. That is red blood corpuscles. That is red, blue and colorless for alcohols. Third method is oxidation. So by oxidation, when primary alcohols are oxidized, they gives the acid which contains same number of carbon atoms, containing acid. Whereas when secondary alcohol is oxidized, it gives an acid with one carbon atom less. It gives an acid with one carbon atom less. Whereas when tertiary alcohols are oxidized, they gives an acid with 2 carbon atoms less. So in this way we can distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. There is one more method by which we can distinguish, that is by using dehydrogenation reaction. Dehydrogenation. As we have studied all these reactions in the earlier lectures, so I am going in short for the completion of their today's lecture. That is, fourth one is dehydrogenation. Dehydrogenation, when primary alcohols are dehydrogenated by using a dehydrogenating agent, that is copper at 573 Kelvin, it gives what? It gives aldehydes. When secondary alcohols are treated with copper at 573 Kelvin, it gives what? It gives ketones. And when tertiary alcohols are treated with 573 Kelvin, copper at 573 Kelvin, it gives alkenes. So by this way we can distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. There is one more method by which we can distinguish, that is by using cerium ammonium ceric ammonium nitrate. But this test is used only for alcohols. We can say that whether the compound is alcohol or not, but we cannot distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary using ceric ammonium nitrate. That an aqueous solution of alcohol is treated with ceric ammonium nitrate, and if it gives pink or red coloration, it confirms that the compound is alcohol. So the last test to distinguish between alcohols is iodoform test. As we have already seen this test in detail in halogen derivatives chapter, so let's revise that. That is, iodoform test is given by only those alcohols which contains RCHOH group. So it can be used to distinguish between like methanol and ethanol. If I am carrying out the reaction with iodoform test with methanol and ethanol, that is CH3CH2OH, this will not give iodoform test, whereas this will give iodoform test. So we can distinguish between methanol and ethanol, and all the secondary alcohols gives positive iodoform test. So this was all about the reactions between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols and their distinguishing test. So now our next topic is interconversion of alcohols. So first maximum time question comes on this in your CBSE board exams, that is how to convert a primary alcohol into secondary alcohol. So now let's see how to convert it. Let's take an example of a primary alcohol like propanol, that is CH3CH2CH2OH. So I want to convert this primary alcohol into a secondary alcohol. So what I will do, just first of all remove this OH and replace it by a halogen. So use any halogenating agent. I am using here SOCl2 because this is a best chlorinating agent, so that it will give what? CH3CH2CH2Cl. Now later on what you will do, treat it with alcoholic KOH. When we treat it with alcoholic KOH, it will remove this halogen and one hydrogen from this place, so that it will give CH3CH double bond CH2, means an alkene will be obtained. Now what to do, just treat it with HBr. As when you are going to react it with HBr, it will follow what? Markovnikov's rule. On treatment with Markovnikov's rule, it will give what? 2-bromopropane, and now this 2-bromopropane on treatment with aqueous KOH will give secondary alcohol. So this is the simple way to convert a primary alcohol into secondary alcohol. Now the second is conversion of secondary alcohol into tertiary alcohol. This is also very easy. Let's take an example of a tertiary alcohol. This is isopropyl alcohol. This on oxidation, it will give what? It will give a ketone. And this ketone on treatment with Grignard reagent, that is RMGX. Let's take here CH3MGX instead of RMGX, CH3MgBr, so that it will give what? It will give C, one C will be here, and here OMgBr, carried out MgBr, and this on acid hydrolysis will give tertiary alcohol. So this is the simple way to convert a secondary alcohol into tertiary alcohol. Now the third conversion is primary alcohol into tertiary alcohol. Let's take an example of isobutyl alcohol. This isobutyl alcohol on treatment on dehydrogenation, sorry, not dehydrogenation, on dehydration, it will get converted into an alkene. And now this alkene will undergo on treatment with HBr, it will undergo Markovnikov's rule, Markovnikov's addition, so that it gives what? this compound, and this on treatment with aqueous KOH, it will give tertiary alcohol. So we have converted a primary alcohol into tertiary alcohol. So this is the one of the method to convert a primary alcohol into tertiary alcohol. Now next is conversion of a lower alcohol into higher alcohol. Means what we are going to do, we are going to ascend the series. Means number of carbon atoms we have to increase. Let's take an example of methanol. When methanol, I want to change this methanol into ethanol. So how I will convert it? Methanol is a primary alcohol and ethanol is also a primary alcohol. So first treat it with HI. As on treatment with HI, it will give alkyl iodide, that is CH3I, and water will be the byproduct. Now this CH3I is treated with KCN. This on treatment with KCN, it will give what? CH3CN. This CH3CN is a cyanide, that is methyl cyanide. This on reduction, carry out the reduction for it. On reduction, it will give what? CH3, CH2, NH2. Always, whenever you want to ascend the series, there are two ways to ascend the series, either by using KCN or by using Grignard reagent. So on reduction, it gives what? Primary amine, and this primary amine on treatment with nitrous acid, that is with HNO2, it will give what? CH3, CH2, CH3, CH2, OH, that is ethanol. So we have converted methanol into what? Ethanol. In this there was only one carbon atom, and here there are two carbon atoms. So we have ascend the series by one carbon atom. So this is the way to ascend the series. Now the last conversion is conversion of higher alcohol into lower alcohol. It means what? We are going to descend the series. Example, if we are having an ethanol, we are going to convert it into methanol. So let's take an example, that is ethanol CH3 CH2OH. This on oxidation, it will give what? CH3CHO. This on further oxidation will give what? Acetic acid, CH3COOH. Now this compound, this acetic acid is treated with NaOH, so that it gives what? CH3COONA. One thing should be kept in mind, whenever you want to descend the series, always carry out the decarboxylation reaction. Now decarboxylation reaction means what? It is the treatment with NaOH and calcium oxide. So treat this compound with, it will undergo decarboxylation. It is an important part. Without this we cannot convert a higher alcohol into lower alcohol. So on heating, in presence of what? NaOH and CaO, it will give CH3. It will give CH4, not CH3, sorry. It will give CH4, and alkane will be obtained. And now this alkane on treatment with chlorine, it will give CH3Cl. This on treatment with aqueous KOH will give CH3OH. So thus we have converted an alcohol containing two carbon atoms into a one carbon atom containing alcohol, that is ethanol is converted into methanol. So this was all about the today's class. Thank you.